Hey there, I'm Mike Gillette, your host, and this is 1937, Part 6 of the Soundscape series, Episode 38 of When Radio Ruled. This podcast is a montage of excerpts from old-time radio shows performed live and broadcast March 11th to March 28, 1937. Starring Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Eddie Cantor, Jimmy Wallington, Ben Burney, Fibber, McGee and Molly, Duke Ellington, Harlow, Wilcox, Albert Sullivan, Rudy Vallee, and more. Featured songs include Eddie Cantor, There Is Anything That Love Can't Do, and I'm on a Sit-Down Strike for Love, some Great Duke Ellington instrumentals with Ivey Anderson on vocals, Judy Starr, Swing Swing Your Mother-in-Law, Rudy Vallee, This Year's Income Taxes Medley, and Mr. Paganini. These soundscapes are a result of the research phase of the When Radio Ruled historical documentary series. In order to find the best old-time radio excerpts to express the essence of the era, I listened to hundreds of hours of old-time radio broadcasts, looking for the most interesting bits. When I hear something outstanding, a song or a joke or a comedy sketch, a news report or an interview, I add it to a best of clip reel so I can easily find all the best excerpts for the documentary. But not everything can get into the final version. For 1937, I boiled 6.3 days of programming down to 27 hours of excerpts, from which a little under 5 hours made the final cut. And it seems like such a waste. Listening to these clip reels is one of my favorite parts of the process. I don't remember what I put on each reel, so they contain one unexpected gem after another. And I want to share that experience with you. These excerpts are offered without commentary for your entertainment and education. So here are voices from 1937. Voices sadly now silenced. Great performers, living again because you're listening to them perform live now.
I'm 6 feet tall and 180 pounds.
Gosh, you're almost big enough to fight Joe Louis.
Almost. I like that. Why, only the other day I had an offer of $25,000 to fight Louis.
Well, what are you holding out for?
Funeral expenses.
Is $500 too much for the dancers?
Dancers? Say, what is this?
Not what you think, naughty man. All the dancing means to you, man, is a wayward female wearing a fan. Even my sweet Herbert came home from your last affair covered with feathers.
My, Charlie, you look studious with that book under your arm.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's my geography.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
You like it so well, you take it home with you.
Oh, no. It's because I don't like it. I have to take the darn thing home.
Oh, that? You have lots of reading to do?
Yes, indeed, yes.
You have lectures, too, I suppose?
Yes, I have 3 lectures a week.
Oh, I see.
Not counting the one I get from the principal.
Well, what is your trouble with geography?
Well, mostly showing up for class.
Oh, that's bad. That doesn't help your grades any.
I found that out.
Yeah.
I got 0 yesterday on a test.
0?
Yeah, 0.
Well, that's nothing. What's nothing? 0. Well, you'll soon be at the bottom of your class, young man.
I arrived there yesterday.
Well, you don't seem to be very ashamed about it.
Well, I don't care. They teach the same thing at both ends.
Yeah, right.
I don't care.
Then you like it back there?
Yes, I do. I like it.
Yes.
It's right near the radiator. It's nice and warm. I can sleep so nice.
All right. Young man, you should be thinking seriously of your future.
Yeah?
Yes. You know, you must plant rich seeds in your childhood to bear fruit when you're old.
You can't make a farmer out of me.
No. No, I'm trying to tell you that every day in school
Yes.
is like building a brick wall.
Uh-huh.
And every day is another brick in that wall.
Is that so?
Yes. It's a wall against poverty and ignorance.
How fascinating.
Yes. Now, if you skip school today, there's a brick missing, and you have a hole in the wall. Now, you don't want that, do you?
Well, you can use it for a window.
A window. With that attitude, you will have nothing but windows in your wall.
Well, you can use it for a greenhouse.
A greenhouse. Who's talking about a greenhouse?
I'm talking about a greenhouse.
All right. You'll pay for your folly, young man. You'll pay.
All right, so I'll pay. All right, I'll pay.
Yes.
How about the guy in the restaurant yesterday? What about him? I go in for a bowl of soup, and I hang up my hat and coat, and there's a sign. It says, watch your hat and coat.
Yes. Well, that's for your protection.
Yeah, so I watch my hat and coat, and somebody steals my soup. What about that guy?
That has nothing to do with this.
No, that's all right. That's cute. That's all right. Oh, I died laughing.
Yes. I'm trying to tell you is that you must think of your future.
Yes.
And we're talking about geography now.
Yes.
How far have you gone in your geography book?
Well, I've gone to page, up to the clean pages. Up to I passed the raspberry jam spot yesterday. Skid over it.
What are you studying?
North America.
North America.
Yes.
And can you tell me where United States is?
Yeah, page 35.
35, yes. Now, isn't it true that when you look at the map, if you look to the left or westward, you'll find the Rocky Mountains?
Yes.
And the Pacific Ocean?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, it's there. She's there.
Yes. Now, if you look to the east, you'll find...
page 36.
Page 36.
That's true. That's the way it goes.
Yes. Now, tell me just exactly what troubles did you have in your examination? What questions did she ask you?
Well, she asked me, what was it? Oh, yes, name the source of the Mississippi River.
Name the source of the Mississippi River?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that isn't difficult.
No, but I didn't know where it was, that's all.
Well, where is it?
I don't know. Where is it? I haven't been there.
No. The source of the Mississippi River?
Yeah, you tell me.
Well, the source, it must be... it's up, it's quite far up near, it's near...
Yes, it's near the source, yes.
Well, I can't think of it just at the moment, but of course that can be ascertained by consulting your geography.
Oh, sure, yeah. That's a fine answer, but it don't mean anything. That's how I got 0. I was ascertaining during the examination. Oh. You can't do that. No.
What was the other question?
Name the unusual points of interest in the West.
Unusual points of interest?
Yes.
Well, now, what is it that every tourist must see?
Sight?
Sight, yes, of course, yes. But what one?
I don't know.
Well, Grand Canyon certainly is one.
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen pictures of that.
Yes. What do you think of it?
The Grand Canyon?
Yes.
Well, as a whole, it's terrific.
Yes.
It's the biggest washout I've ever seen.
How old do you think it is?
Well, I guess it runs, it must be 1,000 years.
Oh, it's more than that.
1,500?
More than that.
1750. Now, you can take it or leave it. That's the best I can do. I ain't making a penny.
Oh. It runs from 10 to 20 million years.
My goodness. No wonder it looks worn out.
And now there's another point of interest, I think, and that is the desert in Death Valley.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And if the tourist is lucky, he might see a mirage.
A mirage?
A mirage.
What's that?
A mirage?
Yeah.
Well, a mirage is very much like, it's something like a vision.
A vision?
Yes.
What's a vision?
A vision? Well, that's like a mirage.
Yeah, well, that's where I came in.
When you see something that isn't there, we call that a mirage.
Oh, yes. Well, what do you call it if you don't see something that is there?
Well, I haven't time to explain that now. I'll go into that next week.
Well, that's as good an out as any.
In fact, I haven't found time to fill out my income tax.
Jimmy, do what I did. Save money by having your income tax made out by Sally Rand.
Sally Rand?
Sure, she takes off everything.
Say, Eddie, taxes were much lower years ago.
Yeah, and so were salaries.
Oh, you said it. Well, I have no idea what my father was getting when I was born.
No, Jimmy, and I bet he didn't either.
Greetings and salutations to all you gals and the guys you brung with you. Sitting over here, my good friends, right opposite my cigar, is my old pal Eddie Cantor. Let's bring him up.
Thank you, Ben. I didn't expect to be called on. Say, you've been playing at the Coconut Grove every night for months. I'll bet you've seen hundreds of motion picture stars.
Yeah, Eddie, and I'm kind of getting tired of it.
Yeah?
It's a relief to see a fellow like you come in.
Ben, You bruised my aesthetic soul. You really have, yeah.
I'm sorry, Eddie. The truth is that they were actually thinking of giving you the Academy Award.
Don't be silly. Why, I didn't even make a picture in 1936.
That's why they were thinking of giving you the Academy Award, Eddie.
Yeah. Ben, you know Strike Me Pink was my last picture.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you, Mr. Bernie. I saw the preview of your picture the other night. Wake Up and Leave.
No, it's Wake Up and Live.
Don't tell me what the audience did.
Of course, I only have a small part in the picture.
A small part? I didn't see you at all.
You didn't?
No, Jimmy Wallington sat with me. He sneezed, I turned around to say Gesundheit, and I missed you. Kidding aside, Ben, honestly, I think Wake Up and Live will be a smash hit.
Yeah, Eddie, I'm introducing the songs on my program next Tuesday night.
Good, we'll all be listening.
I hear that you've got the best story for your picture you ever had.
Well, to be perfectly frank, they're saying on the 20th Century Fox lot that I'm another Shirley Temple.
They didn't exactly say that, Eddie.
No?
No. What they did say was that you've got the mind of a 7-year-old.
Yep. Well, don't you worry about me, Benjamin. I'm staying right here in California. I have a good contract.
Oh, that's fine.
I have a beautiful home.
Great.
A lovely family.
That's grand.
You know, I'm no fool. I've got a head.
Yeah, that's swell.
Ben, no kidding. You know, your mind works just like fire chief gasoline. It's got that lightning action.
Oh, come here, my dear fellow. How about a little boost for the old maestro's sponsor, American Can?
Oh, you want me to say something about American Can?
Here.
All right, here. Every American can afford to buy fire chief gasoline.
Hey, Eddie, come on, give me a break, will you? I need a good plug.
Yeah, the way you've been doing at Santa Anita Racetrack, you certainly need a good plug. All right, Ben, here's a break for you. Listen. B is for those bum jokes you've been telling. E is for the eggs that you have laid. R is for the ropes you smoked that's smelling. N is for the nags that you have played. I is for the insults you give Winchell. E is for his answers oh so mean. Put 'em all together, they spell Bernie.
Yowza.
Who uses fire chief gasoline. Never had such trouble, dear, getting you to cuddle near. My, but you're slow. Honey, don't you know? Love is good for anything that ails you. Baby, there is nothing love can do. Love is good for anything that ails you. How about a sweet romance for two? A kiss will pep you up. A hug will step you up. If dreams have kept you up, why, you don't need pills, you need thrills. Love's a precious thing that never fails you. Love is good for anything that ails you. I can't give you anything but love, baby. Diamond bracelets, Woolworth doesn't sell, baby. Till that lucky day, you know darn well, baby. A kiss will pep you up, a hug will step you up. If dreams have kept you up, why, you don't need pills, you need thrills. Love's a precious thing that never fails you. Love is good for anything that ails you.
I used to run the McGee Hardware Company down in Phoenix. The McGee Hardware Company, makers of bolts to the world and nuts to everybody. Oh. Yes, sir. Faucet Fixer McGee, they called me in them days. Oh. Faucet Fixer McGee, foremost fishhook fancier and flush valve finagler, featuring finest frying pans, fly swatters, and frog spears from Phoenix to Florida. Hello? What? How's flies? Oh, flies is pretty mean. How's bees? What? Oh, house flies. I thought you said house flies. What? Fly paper? 3 cents a sheet today. Sure, it's cheap, but we had a sit-down strike, and this is some we got stuck with. You betcha, we'll send it right out. Say, Molly, did you hear Scoop Nagel and Bud last night?
Oh, yes, and I thought they were swelling. Well, they did that. Hey, what's that noise, McGee? Listen.
Oh, that's 5 million people filing their income tax. Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnston's Wax and inviting you all to join us again next week at this same time. Until then, good night.
This is a Red Network program of the National Broadcasting Company.
Duke is on the air. Broadcasting this evening from the Cotton Club, Broadway and 34th Street in New York City, where Duke Ellington and his orchestra are playing for the dancers. The Cotton Club is open every night for dinner and dancing and after-theater supper. And besides the music of Duke Ellington and his orchestra, a floor show featuring 100 sepia stars is presented 3 times nightly. The vocalist this evening will be Ivey Anderson. Duke Ellington and the orchestra continue the program with a number Captain Caravan. are making merry to dance music by Duke Ellington and his orchestra, coming to you from the Cotton Club, Broadway and 48th Street in the heart of New York City. And now is his arrangement of Pennies from Heaven. Stepping up the tempo now, we're rockin' in rhythm. and his orchestra have been entertaining you from the famous Cotton Club located at Broadway and 48th Street in New York City. The Cotton Club is open every night for dinner and dancing and after-theater supper. Duke Ellington and his orchestra play here nightly, and the floor show features 100 sepia stars. Tonight's vocalist was Ivey Anderson. Your announcer is Roger Lyons. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Enter now ventriloquist Edgar Bergen and his dummy, Charlie McCarthy.
Well, now that's a fine way to come to the studio, Charlie. What's the matter? What have you done with your face? Did you stick your head in the lion's cage?
Oh, well, no, I didn't. And you don't have to get wise about it either.
Well, what's the trouble?
Well, I've been learning how to ice skate.
Ice skate? Well, what for?
Well, I was building myself up.
Building yourself up?
Yes.
Looks like the building collapsed.
Yeah, well, it did. I had foundation trouble.
You did?
Yes. My ankles are weak. That's the trouble. They are so weak.
They are?
Yes. I'm practically skating on double runners all the time. Why, do you know they were so weak the other day I was skating for 15 minutes and I happened to look down at my shoes accidentally and I'd forgotten to put on the skates.
Oh, you're exaggerating.
No, I'm not.
So you're going to learn to skate before you use your skates?
That's the idea.
Either. Well, I'm afraid that's going a little too far.
No, it's the truth, honest to goodness.
It is.
So help me.
Yes.
And another thing, yesterday I went to have my skates sharpened, see?
Yes.
And the man says, well, these skates haven't been on the ice. They haven't been used.
Oh, my.
So I had him sharpen my ankles instead.
Well, then I don't suppose you can play hockey.
Well, I can play hockey, but I need someone to hold me up.
I see.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't go much for winter sports. Give me the summer every time.
Yes.
Up in Michigan on Grandma's farm. That's where I love it. I am a tiller of the soil at heart.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'll bet you're a great help to your grandmother.
Yes, I am. I really am, too, yes.
You are?
Mm-hmm. Well, I bring home the cow, and I collect the eggs. There's about 15 eggs a day.
Is that right?
Yeah, of course, we have 120 hens.
120? Well, that isn't a very good average.
No, we got a lot of chiselers in the flock. Yes.
What else do you do?
Well, now, last summer, Grandma wanted a tree planted on the south side of the house, you see, for shade.
For shade?
Mm-hmm. So, I dug the hole for it, see?
Yes.
And I dug and dug and dug and dug and dug. You know, once I get started, there's no stopping it. Second day, I was out of sight.
Out of sight?
Still digging. Third day, I struck coal.
Coal?
Yes.
Well.
So I sold coal to Grandma for 10 cents a bushel. I gave her a good price.
You certainly did.
I could have held out for more, but, you know, Grandma's such a good kid, you know. Well, kid, yes.
Well, that must have made her happy.
Oh, it did. It really did. That is for a while. But she certainly burned up when she found out I had dug into her coal bin in the basement.
Well, of course, we all make mistakes.
Yes, but she says I abused the privilege.
Oh, you do. She must be a nice sort of a person.
I'd like to have you meet her sometime. You like the country?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you must come up.
Yes.
Lovely up there.
Yes. I enjoy riding.
You mean horseback riding?
Yes. Do you have a horse?
Yeah, Grandma has a horse.
Yes.
Yes, she has, yeah. Of course, it's 15 years old.
Oh, it is.
What a piece of horseflesh. And is she lazy?
Is it?
Oh, that horse is so lazy. On Saturday afternoon when we want to go to town for groceries, we have to look half-starved or she won't even budge.
Is that so?
Yes. Why, if you go out for a 5-mile canter, your clothes are out of style when you get back.
Oh.
That's the truth.
I'm afraid you're exaggerating.
Yeah.
Why don't you use spurs on a horse like that?
Well, I have a spur.
A spur?
Yeah.
Well, you should have one on each foot.
Yeah, well, I have one. I figure if you can get one side going, the other will follow. But as slow as that horse is, I did get arrested for speeding.
Now, don't tell me that.
Yes, I did.
Arrested for speeding?
Yes, I did. You see, I drove to town one day,
And the constable indicator, he arrested me. No. I was doing a terrific 12 miles an hour. No.
I don't believe that, Charlie.
Well, it's true.
I don't believe it. Now, I'm sure you're allowed to go 12 miles an hour.
Yeah, but not on the sidewalk. Well, of course, you know, that constable, he had it in for me ever since last summer. You know, he carries a grudge, yes. You see, we Boy Scouts, we had a model airplane show, you know.
Yes.
And he was one of the judges.
Oh, I see. Then you build model airplanes?
Oh, sure. You never saw it?
No.
Yes, must see it. And I had my airplane there, you know, right in front of the judge's stand. A swell spot.
Yes.
There I was with my bomber.
Yes.
180 rubber bands.
Yes.
Wound extra tight.
Extra tight.
Yeah.
A load of dynamite. Yes.
But in my excitement, I wound the thing the wrong way.
The wrong way.
Yeah.
Looks like trouble ahead.
Yeah, but it didn't go ahead. Oh, it didn't. The thing, I let loose of it, and it flew backwards, and it crashed in the judge's face. Oh. Well, he was disfigured, and my plane was disqualified, and I was disgruntled.
Welcome back, our little singer, Judy Starr.
Swing, swing, your mother-in-law. One sling, dear mother-in-law. Means I reckon what you find is broken pages sore. Swing, dear mother-in-law. Don't stop to powder your nose. Just hop away from my toes. You get the beat on any floor you set the feet on. Come nail the crumple the floor. Grandpa taught you to these words hard stuff. Let us teach you and you that keeps it hot. This is not turkey in the saucer. Oh, my mother-in-law, that you have ridden the Lord. Don't let it wake up when the band begins to break up. Swing, mother-in-law.
For quite a few years, he has stood behind the glistening marble counter of our Radio City drugstore, dispensing everything from bromo seltzer to hot fudge sundaes with double whipped cream for the great and near greats of the air. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the soda man extraordinary, Mr. Albert Sullivan.
Fine talk.
What's fine talk?
The malarkey you were just spreading. I thought the boys told me you were an old soda man yourself.
So I am. I used to work in my father's drugstore at Westbrook, Maine. In fact, I started there when I was 7 years old. What's that got to do with it?
Well, what's the idea of pulling all those 4-bit speeches on me? To paraphrase the words of an esteemed colleague. You never learned that in any drugstore, no matter who ran it.
But Mr. Sullivan, I learned other things that you soda jockeys don't know much about today.
What's that? How to play Hamlet on the saxophone?
Now listen, that's beside the point.
It's a little crude, I'll admit.
What?
A little crude, but tell me, Rudy, what did you learn?
Well, I learned how to chop 18 pails of ice at 7 o'clock in the morning and another 18 pails at 11 o'clock at night.
At 7 years of age, that is a full quota of chopping. But don't think you have anything on me. I've been in the soda business 20 years. B-E-R.
B-E-R?
Before electric refrigeration. And I've seen it come from the chocolate milkshake stage to a full-course dinner with buttered noodles on the side.
Well, Sully, that may be something, but I know that in my day I took more than a little pride in my banana splits.
Ah, banana splits. Weren't they something? That's the trouble with the business nowadays. No imagination. Most of the customers are just setters or pointers.
Setters or pointers?
Sure. Take the setters, for instance. They come in and sit down. And you go up to them and say, what'll it be?
And what do they say?
Most of the time, they just say, huh?
What do you do then?
Then I suggest things. But you always end up by burning one or freezing one.
Burning one or freezing one? What does that mean?
I see. They didn't go in for that stuff up in Maine. Burn one is a malted, and a freeze one is a frosted. Do you know what a billiard is?
Why, of course.
What is it?
Well, it's when the cue ball meets the two object balls.
Oh, no. Behind the stick at a soda fountain, it's a glass of beer.
That's very interesting. But tell me, you explained what a setter is. Now about a pointer.
A pointer is a fellow who comes in, sits down, sticks out his finger and says, give me a cup of coffee and a piece of pie, Jack.
And what kind of pie is it that he points at?
Apple. Always apple. You'll never catch one of those Jaspers going for anything like the coconut custard. Oh, no imagination. That's what it is. Even the radio star.
Yes?
Sure. Take yourself, for instance. Every time you come into the store, somebody tags you with a double OJ.
A double OJ?
A double orange juice. That's what you always order, isn't it?
I'm afraid you have me there, partner. What do some of the other fellows order?
Every Saturday night before he goes on the air, Joe Cook comes in and gets a plate of soup and a dish of vanilla ice cream.
Is he funny?
There's nothing funny in a plate of soup and a dish of vanilla ice cream. So Joe don't give out. He needs the 4 Hawaiians for that funny stuff.
How about Ben Burney? Is he a customer of yours?
He sure is, and one of the best. Tuesday is his calling day. He comes in, has a sandwich, a cup of coffee, lights a cigar, takes 4 or 5 puffs and leaves it on the counter. There's one thing about him, though, that I can't go for.
Yes? What's that?
He's given me an awful expensive taste for good cigars.
Well, such are the exigencies of your profession, Mr. Sullivan.
Oh, indubitably, Mr. Vallee.
What is that, Mr. Sullivan?
I said, indubitably, Mr. Vallee, indubitably.
Well, that's what I thought you said, Mr. Sullivan. That's what I thought you said.
Life is a game where fate throws the dice. I didn't cry when I paid the price. Though I have got dependents galore, I can deduct just 2 and no more. This year's income taxes don't seem as sweet to me. This year's tax just misses what taxes used to be. With such high finance, no one seems to stand a chance, even helped by Mr. Moon above. This year's income taxes are not for me, 'cause I'm still wearing last year's suit. Or you can't take it with you and you can't have it here. Then in walks a guy from Washington and he says, now listen here. You sing songs and you make love dandy. You make swell molasses candy. But honey, are you making any money? That's all I want to know. So I'll be in the bag always hiding in the dark hallway. Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always. Tom, Dick, Moe, and Mac, everybody pays a tax. Uncle Sam's dependent on us all. This year's income taxes have busted me, but I still got my baby back. Good evening, friends.
Mr. Paganini, play my rhapsody, and if you cannot play it, won't you sing it? La-la-la-day. If you can't sing it, that means you'll have to. Come on, brother, let me sing it. If you can't sing it, then try to swing it. Mr. Paganini, we restlessly await your master for the tango. On and sling it. La-la-day. If you can't sing it, you simply have to swing it. I said swing it, I mean swing it and dong ding it. We heard your repertoire, and at the final bar, we greeted you with wild applause. And what a grand ovation, your interpretation of woe. La-da-lo-lo, Mr. Paganini, now don't you be a meanie. What have you up your sleeve? Come on and string it. La-da-day. If you can't string it, that means you'll have to swing through the air with the greatest of ease, so you're not the man on the flying trapeze. Oh, Mr. Paganini, now don't you be a meanie. What have you up your sleeve? Come on and spring it. La-la-day. If you can't spring it, that means you'll have to. La-da-da-dee-la-day, 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 la. If you can't spring it, that means you'll have to swing it.
Wait a minute. What are you doing, Jack?
You told me to lay an egg.
Oh, you fool. That's just a silly expression.
Well, how could you lay an egg without a silly expression?
Here is a little Easter gift. A brand new song, hot off the press. Mr. Renard, wave your chubby arm at the boys of Local 47. Go ahead. What do the morning papers say? Another sit-down strike today. What if the strikers are right? What if the strikers are wrong? You refuse to marry me, and so I'm joining the throng. I'm on a sit-down strike of my own. I'm gonna keep on sitting till the cows come home. I offer you a romance, but you don't give me a chance. So here I'll sit till I wear out the seat of my pants. You'll have to join a union with me. The terms I'm not unfair, you must agree. Others may demand a lot, but heavens above, I just want you in my arms, a labor of love. I'll sit right here till I win. You've simply got to give in. I'm on a sit-down strike for love. I'm on a sit-down strike of my own. I'm gonna keep on sitting till the cows come home. All my demands I won't drop. I'll stick around till you flop.
And when it comes to lovin', I must have a close shop to hug and kiss my dear is sublime. For such a job, I don't want overtime. Some want shorter hours and a raise in their pay. Just raise me 50 kisses and I'll work night and day. And when we sit cheek to cheek, who wants a 40-hour week? I'm on a sit-down strike for love.
I do want to say this to you. The judging by the thousands of letters and telegrams you've sent this past week, I guess you're all kind of anxious to visit Hollywood. Well, 2 of you will come as my guests with all expenses paid. All you have to do is find a fitting name for the telephone operator of Texaco Town. Nothing to pay, nothing to buy, nothing to send in but the name you suggest for her and your reason for selecting this name. For instance, you could call her Flo because she talks in a steady stream. Be as brief as possible and do not submit more than one name. The judges are Rupert Hughes, Walt Disney, and Burns and Allen. The judges' verdict will be announced 2 weeks from tonight. Their decision will be final, and the name selected becomes the property of this program. Address your letters to Eddie Cantor, Mayor of Texaco Town, Hollywood, California. And until I hear from you, remember, I love to spend each Sunday with you. As friend to friend, I'm sorry it's true. Good night.
During the week, drive around to your neighborhood Texaco dealer. As he serves you with fire chief, he'll be glad to perform those numerous small services that add so much to the comfort and pleasure of motoring. In the meantime, whenever you hear the siren and bell, think of Texaco Fire Chief Gasoline. James Wallington speaking. Good night. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Nine p.m. BULOVA, Boulevard Watch Time, WABC, New York.
Thanks for listening to 1937 Part 6, the Soundscapes audio montage series number 15 from When Radio Ruled. I'm Mike Gillette, your host. When Radio Ruled and the Soundscape series are before TV productions. Copyright 2022.
My darling, I miss you tonight. Stop. I wish I could kiss you tonight, stop. Want to let you know just how I am, so I'm sending you this telegram. The weather is rainy and cold, stop. The next house to our house was sold, stop. Lovely neighbors moved in by the way, came around to borrow eggs today. Here's some news that's really news, Mr. Brown became a pop. Don't forget to wire and say, congratulations, stop. My darling, there's so much to write, stop. A letter will follow tonight, stop. Wonder if you're lonely as I am. Now I've got to close this telegram. I love you, stop. Mean it, stop. Phone me, stop. Write me, stop. But don't stop loving me.